Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. As we know, the government shutdown has officially ended, and it ended without the Republicans extending the ACA tax credit. And the reason why it ended is because this is what you got to understand about the Republican base, right? Now, before I say this, let me qualify this statement, right? Every billionaire isn't a Republican. See, there's some billionaires out here like George Soros, who funded Black Lives Matter, and people like that are Democrats. The billionaires that are Democrats because they have a balanced understanding of what keep the country afloat. The billionaires that are Republicans don't give a fuck what keeps the government afloat. They're just selfish. They just want things that benefit themselves, and they can care less about anybody that's not one of them. And what's the one of them I'm describing? If you're not a billionaire, you do not make enough money to say that you represent the Republicans. Because most of you guys, most of us Americans, let's say that, and I'm included in it, right? Most of us don't have the financial wherewith and acumen to benefit from anything Republicans do. I said that before now. But now, hear me out. The government shut down, right? It's ended. The reason why it ended, because it was a number of Democratic senators that folded because they felt like the shutdown and people being out of work and the SNAP benefits not being in effect was causing pain and suffering on their people. There was a senator in Nevada, Las Vegas. I'm about to mutilate this woman lady, but I know she got Cortez in her name, right? It's about 4 names. I think she Latino or something. But she said she saw people in lines waiting for the food like back in the days of the pandemic, because they didn't have their SNAP benefits, waiting in food lines. And she said she had to stop that pain and suffering. So she said, fine, I'm going to go ahead and sign to open the government, even though we have not approved to extend the ACA tax credit. But they promised to talk about it in January. But most people ACA tax credit benefits going to not be there in January. What does that actually mean? Well, I'm going to put it in your lap plainly. There's a hairstylist they interviewed in Pennsylvania who 51 years old, and she was paying $160 a month for her health premium. Now, to maintain the same quality of health insurance without that tax credit, she already know her premium going balloon to $260 a month when it was $160 a month when she had the ACA tax credit. So if she want to get the same quality of health insurance, you're going to have to pay double. Now, some lower income people might lose benefits altogether. But you know another phenomenon that's going to happen? Let's take all of the younger, healthier people that carry health insurance. If they see it double like that, they might just drop it. They might just drop it on the strength that they're young and they're healthy. Well, guess what? When people stop dropping health insurance they used to pay for it, that impacts the medical field. That's a loss of revenue. And when they lose members they used to get money from, that makes the prices go even higher than what it's going to go without the tax credit. You follow what I'm saying? Now, what's the Republican reason for not extending the ACA tax credit? Okay, I'm going to give you the red pill, which is the truth. before I get into their blue pill, which is a lie they telling you to sound good. The real reason is this. Billionaires don't need help to pay for their health insurance. Only people that need help in maintaining good health insurance is Section 8 people, low income people, middle income people. But flat out billionaires, they can pay the bill regardless how high it costs. So what they're doing is they taking stuff away from working class, low income, and poverty stricken people so they can justify a tax cut for them. Because whenever Republicans cut taxes, I say it in every video, 67% of those tax cuts be in categories that only billionaires pay in anyway. So when they cut taxes, you don't even see the money. You follow what I'm saying? And the little bit of money you do see, it ends up canceling itself out with situations like this. Like, for example, when Bush did his cuts before the Trump administration, the average person that made $50,000 a year saw $962 back in taxes. But the average millionaire saw approximately $168,000 in taxes. Now, an extra $168,000 is a sizable amount of money that can make you have a better year, but not $962. Now, imagine you get your $962 back, right? But because you no longer have a tax credit for the ACA health insurance, now, instead of paying $160 a month like this hairdresser in Pennsylvania, you now paying $260. Guess where that $962 went? It just transferred to your health insurance. So quintessentially, you got nothing. You see what I'm saying? See, if they're trimming government programs that sustain a better level of living for you, all they doing is giving you this $962, but then taking other things that you now have to take that $962 to fill in the gap for them, and it still probably won't be enough. So as a result of those tax cuts, what did you get? Nothing. But these billionaires getting more and more tax write-offs and more loophole to evade taxes legally. Now, that's the red pill. Now, let me give you the blue pill. The blue pill is what the Republicans ostensibly allege. The argument they giving you or fake claiming, that's what ostensible mean for those who I'm speaking over their head, right? Their argument is, right, we're not giving no health insurance so no illegal immigrants can get no free health insurance. That's what they're saying, right? Well, that's a myth. You know why that's a myth? These illegal immigrants that come over to America are actually working and paying taxes. Now, I know some of y'all out there in Facebook land, YouTube land, you scratch your head saying, well, if these motherfuckers coming over here and they ain't got no birth certificates and social security numbers, how the hell could they file taxes? I'm glad you asked. The Internal Revenue Service have created something called an ITIN. That they now give you something called an individual taxpayer ID number. They'll give you that. And that's for people who don't have a social security number, which illegal immigrants don't have. They can still go to the IRS and get an individual tax ID number, and the acronym is an ITIN. And with that number, they literally pay taxes. Second of all, what happens when you start a business and you self-employed? Because a lot of them are self-employed in the construction industry. First of all, you come up with a company name and an LLC, right? and you pay the paperwork to get that approved. Once you create your company name, you get a tax ID number. You can get a tax ID number and then access your social security number when you don't have no social. And then in other instances, illegals are using fake social security numbers or other people's social security numbers, which is definitely fraudulent, but all you need to associate with your identity is some type of number, and you can pay taxes. You know, it was reported that in 2022, illegal immigrants paid over $1 billion in taxes. So if these illegal immigrants are paying taxes, then their tax dollars is a part of the financial base that's paying for the ACA tax credit. So if they're paying for the ACA tax credit, there's no reason why they should be excluded from the benefit. Because it's coming out of their taxes just like it's coming out of your taxes. The only difference is you got a real social security number to identify who you are. They're using fake ones. Or they're using individual tax ID numbers that don't require you to prove you got a social. However they're paying taxes, they paying it. Second of all, anybody in America is paying sales tax. If you go to 7-Elevens and buy Coke, they're going to charge you tax. If you go to the grocery store to buy a loaf of bread, they're going to charge you tax. It's impossible to be in the United States of America and doing any type of business or living without paying tax of some sort. The system is designed where nobody going to avoid taxes altogether. You follow what I'm saying? Anybody go to the store and purchase an item paying taxes. You paying Maryland state sales tax, DC sales tax, Virginia sales tax, wherever you shop at, you paying a sales tax. You follow what I'm saying? And if these people are paying taxes, they are actually financially feeding the financial base that's going to subsidize the ACA tax credit anyway. So why should they get the benefit? You follow what I'm saying? Republicans won't tell you that because they're counting on your ignorance of what's going on, and most people are ignorant. That's how illegals pay taxes. I think I'm going to stop right there because I do got to go out there and do a few things a day. I got to do this location sketch for a permit, but I wanted to throw this in your ear. And, you know, I had a YouTube channel like 2 or 3 years ago, but, you know me, I'm a computer illiterate, right? So a young nigga at the casino I be seeing showed me how to navigate, and I found the joint now. So now I get to put my live videos back on my YouTube channel that I never got rolling. Y'all check me out. I'm going to leave my link in the bio. I holla.